Cav Country. I'm Army Private Ashley Torres. Today we'll see how Iraqi soldiers work with American soldiers to make Baghdad safer. We'll also see who stops by to say hello and wish the troops here a Merry Christmas. But first, soldiers are taught to be aware of their surroundings at all times. Army Sergeant Scott Patillo went on a cordon search with the Iraqi Army, and this is what they learned.
The doorbell didn't work, so soldiers from the 2nd Battalion 12th Cavalry Regiment used a shotgun instead. Soldiers used the shotgun to remove a lock during a cordon and search operation in the Ghazaliya neighborhood of Baghdad. They met up with Iraqi Army troops early in the morning, and together they went from house to house looking for illegal weapons. Joint efforts like these give soldiers the chance to show the new Iraqi Army some things they've learned.
And it's actually proven quite effective with us being operational overwatch, watching them do what they need to do, and then doing small corrections while we're out there. Hey, you need to look here, next time we go to a house. This is a place where people hide stuff and things like that.
Yeah, Spider-Man, yeah, right.
Every house had to be searched, and many of the residents were happy to see the soldiers, but some weren't so happy. Even though searches like these are intrusive, they are also necessary.
I think it's effective because we take the stuff that they use for emplacing IEDs off the streets to an extent. I mean, we capture it so that way they don't have pre-planned places where they can quickly emplace IEDs.
Hold on.
By the end of the day, coalition forces uncovered several weapon stashes, including improvised explosive devices. Sergeant Scott Patillo, 7th MPAD, Ghazaliya, Iraq.
Soldiers are working with the Iraqi Army in many ways. Army Sergeant Jesse Granger takes us to a checkpoint in eastern Baghdad and shows us how these troops are keeping Baghdad safe.
What do Iraqi security forces need before they can take control of their country? That's what Alpha Company 1st Battalion 8th Cavalry Regiment is trying to find out.
We saw a few good checkpoints. Others need some more work. They need more concrete barriers. One could use a tower.
Alpha Company is making these assessments so that when the time comes to hand over responsibility in Iraq, the country's security forces will be ready.
It's up to us to bring the Iraqis up to speed so that when we do leave, that they can take care of themselves and so that they can fight their own battles.
How did they get that information to you?
For now, Alpha Company will continue to guide their Iraqi counterparts toward independence, one step at a time. From Baghdad, Iraq, Sergeant Jesse Granger, 7th MPAD.
I grew up in a small town. Every year there's a rodeo. But when I went out with the 10th Mountain Soldiers and a veterinarian, well, just take a look. I've never seen anything like it.
Alright, we're making a sheep corral and a cattle corral so that we can supervise and try to keep the sheep from running away.
Soldiers from 10th Mountain Division lended a helping hand in Al-Tarat so farm animals could receive some vaccinations.
This is a dewormer. So since all of these animals are either being milked or are feeding young, we want to keep the dewormer in their intestinal tract. This is a pox virus vaccine, a disease that's endemic in this area. But this is a vaccine for something called malignant edema and blackleg.
While the sheep didn't seem to mind the attention,
Tell him he has very well-behaved animals.
the cows seemed to be quite a challenge.
Come on, cow.
But whether they liked it or not, the cows got the shots and received dewormer.
Some more, sweetheart?
I don't know how much she got, but every little bit helps.
The soldiers kept the sheep from running around, but the cows kept the soldiers running. PFC Ashley Torres, 7th MPAD, Baghdad, Iraq. Coming up after the break, we'll have Baghdad update and a visit from Kid Rock.
Army Sergeant Rick Lewis, and this is the Baghdad Update. The Red Dragon soldiers of the 3rd Battalion 82nd Field Artillery Regiment have been taking on missions a little different than they're used to. While deployed to Iraq, they've spent less time running fire missions and more time walking the streets. These artillerymen have no reservations about escorting government VIPs around Baghdad, and after this mission is through, these troops will have no trouble filling in wherever they're needed. The topic of discussion in Musaib lately has been the rebuilding of the town's factories. Local businessmen met with U.S. officials in hopes they could find a resolution to their problems and get the factories back up and running. They believe that by providing more jobs and better income, the security situation will greatly improve. Finally, the last remnants of the old Al-Mamun Exchange and Telecommunications Center near Baghdad was removed recently to make room for a new 7-story telecommunications building.
Sometimes joy for them is terror for me. When they brought down the Al-Mamun Communications building, they had made 3 attempts to bring that building down. And it took 3 times to get it, and they finally got it. And all the guards pulled out their weapons and started firing their weapons in the air. Just in total amazement. They're out there, and they've got a victory. And they're happy as a lark.
The felling of the 13-story, 1,600-ton stairwell was the feat of Iraqi engineers preparing the site for construction of a new telecommunications center. And that's the Baghdad Update. Back to you, PFC Torres.
Thanks. Well, soldiers got a really big surprise when Kid Rock came to Iraq to, well, rock. Army Sergeant Scott Patillo was Kid Rock's battle buddy for the day, and this is how the show went down.
Kid Rock traveled to Baghdad to visit troops this Christmas. Long lines and adoring fans
Hey, what's up, Kid Rock? Kid Rock? Thanks for coming to Baghdad, man.
awaited Kid Rock's arrival.
Yeah, I really appreciate him being here. That I don't think he understands how much it means to soldiers. Take the time out of his day. He could be anywhere else in the world, and he chose to be here with the soldiers. It means a lot to us.
Kid Rock flew to forward operating bases around Baghdad, stopping at places that rarely see celebrities or special events. He had a message for the troops.
Well, I mean, I think it was a two-way message, not only for the troops especially, just to come over here and let them know that, you know, no matter what people's views are, what's going on in Iraq or around the world, that there's still, you know, everybody back home is definitely 100% behind them and, you know, cares for them, and it's always got their back and looking out for them, just wants to do something that, you know, to give back to them after their sacrifices they make. And also it was a big thing to me to decide to come over here to kind of set an example for my son, that we've been very fortunate, very blessed so far in this life, and just to think about other people at Christmas and do something unselfish and, you know, realize it is a little bit more than just presents.
Soldiers work 24/7 in Iraq, and if nothing else, visits like these help break up the monotony and add a little stress-free excitement for a change. Sergeant Scott Patillo, 7th MPAD, Baghdad, Iraq.
Like them need a little bit fat. Like them needs a little bit lean.
That's all for this week. Next time we'll take you behind the music and show you who the true stars are. Remember to check out www.cavcountry.net for the latest on the first team. I'm Army Private Ashley Torres. See you next time.